Well, howdy, 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 howdy. Good Sunday evening. Hey, everybody. We are here and we're ready to rock and roll for this Sunday evening. Ready to rock and roll. Yes. Sunday, end of the month, beginning of the next month. We're ready for first quarter, third month, beginning of March. Listen, if you've been trading in this market, you know it's been an interesting ride. Interesting. And we've had some fun. Some people have made some really good money, and some people have lost some really good money. One of the things I think people think is that the market only makes money when you're going up. So when the prices are going up. So when the prices are going down, people sometimes get shook. Like they're almost like into a state where they're like, petrified because they don't like, what do I do when prices are going down? What do I do? This is where the training or learning of how to manage going both ways comes into play, right? There are some people who are very adept at playing puts. Other people, not so much. And when I say playing puts, I don't like to use the word playing when we're talking about the stock market because it's really very serious. People's money is on the line, and folks are very serious about their money. And many times there's issues with how do I trade, as a how do I trade in the market where things are going down? And everybody's not good at it. And that causes issues. Now, you got to be able to go both ways. Many people can't. So sometimes in those situations like this past week, I'm going to show you on the charts where things are really looking real bearish, even though nobody wants bear market. You see what you see. It's what it is. You see what you see. I'm letting the platforms bring everybody into the conversation, so that way we can talk about what we saw this past month. What did things look like? What do we anticipate for the month of March? Right, we've got some things we can look at to see what went on the first 2 months of the year, and what can we maybe look at going into March, because the whole objective of this whole trading thing is to generate resources. Nobody's just trying to throw money into their account, which I do know what it feels like to have to do that over and over. Because now I do feel like I want to clarify this. I feel like your investment account should be a place where you should make regular deposits, because you need to continue to grow that account. And the only way to grow that account is not just with winning the money. You can grow that account by putting more money in it. All right. It's a regular investment. I think you should invest in stocks and your options, and have a nice little diversified setup. And I really have a video. I don't know if it came out today, maybe it'll come out tomorrow, about that, about what is a good financial game plan. Oh no, it didn't come out. The video that came out was about recovering from a losing streak. But that video will come out soon, and it'll talk about what can you do for a financial game plan for this year. We're only 2 months in, so we still got time. We still got time to get this month up and running, and we want to make sure that you got a game plan running for the entire year and years to come. Not just this year, but years to come. Hey Ward, good evening. Marsha, good evening. Hello Janae. Hello Tanya. Just like you put money in a regular bank account. Yeah, basically make deposits. Just like you deposit into your savings account or whatever, you need to deposit into your trading account. That's completely, some people are like, what do you mean? You don't have to grow the money just by growing it, just by trading your way to more. You can, deposit your way to more. I was saying you don't want to keep having to deposit money into your bank account solely because you're losing it along the way. Even though I want you to know that what we're doing here, there will be losses. There will be, and anybody who tells you there won't be losses, they lying. There's going to be losses going to be incurred. All right. Just so you know, there will be some losses incurred. Okay. All righty. So let's talk about what has happened and what will potentially be happening. Right, I'm gonna go to some screens. I have something I thought was interesting. I don't know if you all noticed this or saw this. Maybe for those of you who watch these kinds of things, but down here in the right, the VIX is at 1963. That's not the most important thing on this screen, not to me right now, but the VIX is at 1963, which does show a little bit of fear and volatility in the market. The VIX is the volatility indicator. But what is of import to me right here is this Bitcoin. Y'all see that Bitcoin is at 93? 93. It was at what, 79, 87, something like that. It might have been, oh, it went down into the upper 70s. It was like 79 only a couple days ago. Okay. Don't let nobody tell you. I got asked in the grocery store yesterday. Guy was talking about stocks and da. And he talked about he had some Bitcoin before and he had sold it and put it into stocks because he was like, because it's unstable, da. And I looked at him, bruh, I'm not sure who told you that. And I'm not sure what convinced you to buy into that. But Bitcoin ain't going nowhere. And if you had it, I bet you probably kicking yourself right now because you let it go. And just because it drops doesn't mean if it's been to 100K, it's going back to 100K at least. And I personally believe it's going to grow higher. I don't own a lot of Bitcoin, so I'm not even talking about like I'm all in. I'm not saying that. I do have some, but it's not a whole lot. But I feel like it's going to keep going. I don't think Bitcoin going nowhere. And if you think it is, then you're going to need to come on, wake up, because I don't think it's going anywhere. All right. Hey, Cassandra, how you doing? So anyway, the VIX is at 1963. Bitcoin, I see that Tanya said, yeah, I saw that. 93. Bro, we went +8. This is very recently, the weekend. This is the weekend, baby, because there were people, I think TJ, my mentor, said he bought some Bitcoin like 79 the other day. And here we are at 93. Bruh. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So that's what the VIX is going on right now. Okay. Let's look at that. How Wall Street pros are looking at fears over U.S. economy slowdown. Trump names cryptocurrencies in strategic reserve. That's probably what happened right here. Trump names cryptocurrencies in strategic reserve. 5 hours ago, probably pumped it right after that. Probably pumped it right on up a little higher. Yes. All right. I'm not going to spend time here. I want to go to the charts first, and we'll look at what we saw over the past few weeks, right? This is SPY. Let me turn off VWAP. I'm going to talk about that here in a minute, but let me, make it quiet. Let's make it quiet. This is SPX. We'll look at first. SPY was the same thing that was on the screen, and they are very, very similar, as you know. Let me remove these drawings. This is SPX. I wanted to go on to, let me look at the monthly chart first. We're going to go from there and then we'll pull back. Now, according to our chart here, we are still bullish. We are bullish. Yep, we're still bullish. What color is the red one? I think is the 50. Is that red? No, the 50 is probably not the red one. 50 should be a little further away. Let me see. Which one of these is 50? Can't see it there. Plot, plot, plot. The red one must be the 50. Yeah. What's this one? What's this orange one? It's 20. All right. Let me see what I've got going. Come on, Arlessa. You can do this. Okay. Red is the 20. And orange is the 50. That's what I'm looking at. The orange is the 50. Down here. Orange. I need to make that one bigger because orange is the one that is what I use to. That's the one I use to determine a little bit more for trend. For trend is this orange one. I probably should change it to blue because the one on my Thinkorswim is blue. That way I can be consistent. I'm not sure if y'all can be able to see that. Okay. Anyway, on the monthly chart, SPX is showing bullish still. That's the monthly. If we go down to the weekly chart, weekly means every one of these candles holds a week's worth of data. Every one of these candles has a week's worth of data. Let me put a few lines on here while I'm looking. Since we looking at stuff, let's put some lines on it. Some weeklies, okay? And looks like we've got a resistance up here in the 61.21 area. Alrighty, this is what we had. Dance around like we had a couple of, red weeks, couple of down weeks off of the highs of the high was actually 61.47. Pull back off of that, and we're currently at 59.54. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about this day. I was out and about. My birthday was Friday, as many of you who follow me know that my birthday was Friday, and I was out with my husband during the day. I had a trade I had an SPX Iron Condor from Thursday that I had set to close on Friday. And I looked at it earlier in the day. My strikes were like 58.80, 58.75, 58.80. And I kept looking to see, periodically I would glance at it. I was trying not to be too focused on it because it was $300 down. I was thinking about closing it, but I was like, I'm just going to leave it because I feel like something's going to pop on this here Friday because I wanted it to pop on that Friday. So I felt like it was going to do something. And this was a gap that has now been filled by that last candle for last week. Anyway, I said, well, let me go on and let me leave it and I'll keep paying attention. So about that afternoon, I said, well, let me look. And I looked and the price was it was probably 3 o'clock, 3 something. And the price, low 3, like early, closer to 3 o'clock. The price was like 59.04, 59.06. So I was like, okay, my trade's probably okay. I stopped watching and I went on about what I was doing. It might have been more like 3:30. 59.0 something. It was like 05, 06, something like that. And then when I went back, looked yesterday and saw that it closed at 59.54, I was like, what in the world? What in the world? Right? So this is the day. This is the daily chart. This last one over here to the right shows the daily chart there. 50 period moving average is showing neutral. We have on the daily time frame, this orange one here in the middle is my 50. Well, I'm actually going to change that color. That's my 50 period moving average for the day. But I wanted to show you what it did on the 30-minute chart. On the 30-minute chart, we danced around. This was the day, started here, kind of did a little good old dance, consolidating, doing what it tries to do. But right around this 1 o'clock, this long wick down here gave us a little bit of indication that we were getting ready to go. And these tweezers means you got 4 candles right here that were all sitting here together. This is what that tweezer looks like. Those in my community know exactly what I'm talking about. This tweezer, basically you right here at the bottom, and this only one of these had a wick, and this wick indicates we were going up some more. This down and then straight back up. This is an engulfing, almost engulfing, because it didn't quite cover this, the top of that candle, but the next candle let you know for sure we were engulfing. Going from here, the bottom of this candle is 58.48, and we closed at, well, let's see, we went down as low as 58.37. We went down as low as 58.37 on this candle here at 1 o'clock, this 1 o'clock candle. And we closed at 59.54. That's over 100 points of a move in a couple of hours, 2-3 hours, at 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock. That's over 100 points, and it moved in a couple of hours. This right here is bananas. I mean, straight bananas. Covered and recovered all that. Well, not all that, but a lot of what it had lost in previous days, and just, ran right back up and got it. Like, this is foolishness. Went right past these resistance. Of course, people like it when it's doing it. You don't like it when you're on the opposite side of that. You're like, no, when you have a call credit spread and it just cruises right on through your call. This last candle here, this is the last 30 minutes of the day, and the range of this candle is 44 points. This last candle in 30 minutes moved 44 points. That is asinine, right? I don't hesitate, but I do, say this is manipulation at its finest. Because nobody's expecting SPX to move 100 points in 2 hours. Nobody's looking for it to do that, right? This is just some. Y'all know, right? Anyway, this is SPX. This is good old SPX. And what it did, I showed you the days. I showed you, I'm gonna go back to the daily chart. That was Friday, almost recovered what it did on Thursday, right? I'm going to talk to you about this month. If you don't have your candlestick mastery calendar, you need to look into getting it, because in my slides, I'm going to share with you this month's candle pattern is called the piercing pattern. It's called the piercing pattern, and we'll talk about it a little bit when we get there. But if you got your calendar, say me in the comments. If you got you a calendar and you're watching, say me in the comments so I can see. If you don't have your calendar, you need to go on and get that, because this pattern that we're seeing here for the candlestick calendar. I'm typing and can't type and talk. You know, I try to, but the brain can't do it so much. I see a me that showed up and listen. This candlestick mastery calendar includes the resource of how, and shows you some different candle patterns and tells you how to trade them. I see another me. Whoop, 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 whoop. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So this is SPX, as I said. This pattern gives you some indication. Anybody got an idea what that daily candle means could potentially happen next? Anybody got any ideas? Let's go look at Triple Q. SPY's going to look the same as SPX. It looks very similar. It's not going to be exactly the same, but it's going to be a lot of similarities. It's going to be a lot of similarities, okay? This is the daily chart for Triple Q. Let's look at what it did on the month. Triple Q on the month. Look at those wicks. I need to undo this so I can see all the things without any interruptions. Y'all see those wicks? Wow, wow, wow. This is Triple Q. Yeah, it is. We don't know which way we going. This is what will be called a candle. Let me turn my strat back on. For those who watch the strat and know the strat. Friday's candle was a 3, basically an outside candle, to see what happens next. This right here, Monday. Is this a weekly? Oh, this is a month. I'm like, what? These are monthly candles. These are monthly candles. I was like, this looking right here. But the wick shows a lot of movement for the month, but we still are bullish. On Triple Q. I think it showed neutral on the 50 period moving average that's a weekly thing, 50 period, but this is showing bullish at this point on the monthly. Outside month is where we are right now. Let's look at the week. This is the weekly chart. Triple Q had a down week, had a bearish week, right? Moving average still showing bullish, but barely. 2 down is what we're working with. And then if we go to the daily chart, this is what our daily look like. We pull back off of these highs in the 539 area. Pull back off those. We've got some supportings in the 510 area, and we're trying to come right back up to it. Let's see if the resistance becomes support. If the support becomes resistance, there we go. Let's see if support from back here becomes resistance when it comes back to it. But we came right down to 581 on Friday, well, Thursday, and then it bounced off of that on Friday. Nice psychological number, and went on up and had a bit of a green day. That's Triple Q. IWM, what did IWM do last month? Starting with the monthly chart, IWM had an outside month as well. Outside being is higher than the previous month's high, it's lower than the previous month's low. I don't do this very often, but I will do it now. Broadening formations. Get information. All right, that's a broadening formation on Triple Q. I should probably have put that on SPY as well. That way I'll have it on my charts the next time I need to look at it. Okay, so outside month means you've got some little bit more room to dance about a bit, and price will potentially, nothing's ever all the time, but price will most likely dance back and forth between these two. And it has to push to get outside of there. That was the month. Let's go to the week. This is our weekly chart. This is the weekly. Am I coming off of this? Nope, I'm not sure where the bottom of that is. Either way, we had a 2 down last week, the week of Triple Q. It's been on a little bit of a bearish ride, but it came right down to this support. The support again was at that. Where am I? Oh, I'm on IWM. Now I'm still talking about Triple Q. I'm going to change stocks. Focus. 214.65 seems to be a good support. We got a good little wick here. Not fully a hammer, but definitely looking wickish. So it might give an indication of some more upwards movement after this week. Then let's look at the daily chart. This is our daily chart. Moving averages is showing it continuing to be bearish. Right, continuing to be bearish. The moving averages start to fan out. It gives you a little bit more downwards going. Right, all the moving averages kind of jumble together, and then they start to split right apart. When we were trading IWM for a while and trading it with iron condors staying in the middle here, just kind of dealing with the consolidation, and then it broke out of that last week. So there is that. Okay. Let's go see. Not there. Let's go here. See what our meetings are for the week. Is that the one I want? No, that's not. Oh, what was it about Warren Buffett? Warren Buffett calls Trump's tariffs a tax on goods. Says the tooth fairy doesn't pay him. Okay, so this is what's coming up this week. As far as meetings and such, right? Monday morning, we've got FOMC member. Well, it's going to be 12 in the morning. He must be at some meeting someplace else. At 12, FOMC member Musalem is going to speak at 9:45, though, on tomorrow. We do have final manufacturing PMI and the ISM manufacturing PMI. That's going to be at 9:45 and 10 o'clock. Total vehicle sales happening all day tomorrow. All right. We got a red and an orange at 10 o'clock. That's Monday. So we've got a red folder right off rip. Righty. Tuesday, tentative. We've got the tip economic optimism, and the FOMC member Williams will speak at 2:20. So no red folders in there by themselves, but just know that seems like the president speaks every day, and that does seem to affect the market every time the president speaks. Wednesday morning, 8:15, we've got ADP non-farm employment change. This is before the market opens. So if you're swinging something from Tuesday to Wednesday, keep in mind that you're going to have something that's going to happen that you're not going to have any control over, and you're not going to be able to respond to your options contracts, right? So keep that in mind. Wednesday at 9:45, we've got final services PMI, ISM services PMI at 10 o'clock, factory orders month over month at 10 o'clock. Crude oil inventories at 10:30, 2 o'clock beige book. Thursday, Challenger job cuts year over year at 7:30, 8:30 unemployment claims. Revised non-farm productivity, unit labor costs, trade balance. That's all at 8:30. Something else that's happening in the morning before you get the chance to do any movement with your options contract. So watch the carryover, okay? Tuesday into Wednesday, Wednesday into Thursday. Watch the carryover. And those who are in my community, make sure y'all remind us, make sure that we remember watching from Tuesday to Wednesday and Wednesday to Thursday. All right? 10 o'clock, we've got natural gas storage. 3:30, Waller will speak from the FOMC. 7 o'clock, Bostic from FOMC will speak. Friday morning, before market opens again, we have average hourly earnings month over month, non-farm employment change, and unemployment rate. All red folders at 8:30 in the morning. All right. FOMC member Bowman will speak. Williams will speak. Kugler will speak at 12:20, 12:30. We got Powell speaking, ding, 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 ding. Friday at 12:30 p.m., Powell will speak. Okay, Friday at 12:30 p.m., Powell will speak. 1 o'clock, Kugler, and then 3 o'clock, consumer credit. Right, that's all the stuff that's going on this week. We got a red folder every day except Tuesday. No red folder on Tuesday. All right. All right. Let's see our earnings. Earnings this week. Let me take myself off the screen. Oh, nope, not there. Not there. How about there? There we go. Take myself off the screen. So did we have, or how did we have the thing that went on Friday where there was a non-shopping? I really want to hear more about the whole credit card thing. I don't think I read enough about that to see what was the thing about paying cash and not using the machines. Maybe somebody can, in my community or even here, can maybe say something to me about it, so that way I'll be in the know. Don't want to be out of the know. I don't want to be out of the know. I want to be in the know. Okay, make sure looks like my camera did some stuff just now, but we're good. Okay. Earnings. We've got Sonova on Monday morning before open, Hut 8, which I think that's a mining thing. Plug is there first thing in the morning. I might need to change screen so I can see better. How about we do that? I'm going to save myself. I need to start just doing this every time so that I don't have to worry about it every time. Because when I'm looking at the screen that is my broadcast screen, I can see one thing. When I look up here on the big screen, it's differente. It's different. Okay. I can't see who's under plug. Hold, please. There we go. We'll put it right up here on the screen and make it bigger. Let's make it bigger. Okay, I think this will be good. Bring it to the stage. Alrighty. So Sonova, I want to thank first of all EP Whispers on Instagram and wherever they put this. They always provide this nice graphic and we use it every single week. Thank you for that, ladies and gentlemen. Monday we have Sonova, Hut 8. We've got Plug here, TG Therapeutics, Avadale, Burford, Sphere, Enable, Numora, and Ready Capital. All that is Monday morning. Monday after close, we've got New Scale, JitLab or GitLab, Okta, OKTA, AST Space Mobile, GigaCloud, ADMA Biologics, Dave, Senseonics, Emergent, and MRC Global. Tuesday morning, we've got Target. Target. Best Buy is also Tuesday morning. CSE is the ticker. AutoZone, get in the zone. AZO. EVgo is Tuesday morning. PaySafe, Esperion, Genius Sports, On, and Nayax. Tuesday aftermarket closes. We have CrowdStrike or Crowd. That's probably anticipated. Credo, Nordstrom, Stem, Orion, Group Holdings, Box, Ross Dress for Less, SQM, Orthopediatrics, and Flutter. That's all Tuesday. On Wednesday morning, we've got Abercrombie and Fitch, Foot Locker, OpFi or OpFi, Stratasys, Thor, Riskified, Full Truck Alliance, YMM is the ticker, ARBE, Adidas, and Editas or Editas. Not Adidas. Edit AS. Let's go with that. EDIT. It's a medicine group. It's pharmaceuticals. And Smart Rent is Wednesday morning. Wednesday after market closes, we've got Marvell, MRVL. Rigetti has earnings this week. I got to keep that in mind. I need Rigetti to go on about its good business, right? Go on about yourself. Zscaler, Mongo, Viva, Victoria's Secret, Lending Tree, GeoPark, Kodiak, and Fortuna. Thursday, JDE.com, Cracker Barrel, Kroger, BJ's, Delcath Systems, Black Sky, Bright Spring, 9 something services, Energy, 9 Energy, Hippo, and Canadian Natural. Thursday after market closes, we got AVgo or Broadcom, Big Bear AI is also Thursday after market close. It's going to be a good week. Wow. Costco, Gap, Hewlett Packard. Ooh, a lot is happening this week. Samsara, Cooper Companies, Gevo, and Cytosorbents. And Friday morning before open, we've got Genesco, Algonquin, White Horse. I think that's finance. YPF, Intest Corporation, LifeWord Advantage, and Oncologix. Oncolitics. There we go. Oncolitics. Biotech. Y'all see these people on the roller coaster? I might be, likely to agree with what they're doing over here in the roller coaster. Prepare for the roller coaster ride. All right. That's the earnings that are coming this week. Several of them I would definitely see as anticipated. Tuesday morning has some little stuff happening. HUT, for those who are the crypto space, may be interested in that mining. CrowdStrike for sure. I'm thinking EVgo, AVgo. Both of those are probably. EVgo is kind of with Plug. I really wanted those two to really get and do better. AutoZone is here. Best Buy. I really wanted EVgo to really go and be a nice little setup, but it didn't. Once all the focus got off of electric vehicles and focus got off of charging stations, then the Plug and ChargePoint and those guys just really kind of lost their momentum. Foot Locker and Abercrombie and Fitch is also Wednesday. Rigetti, Marvel, maybe some people interested in that. Thursday, we've got Broadcom for sure, Big Bear AI, Costco. Cost has been moving like a monster. Then it fell all off and didn't want to recover. I had a cost trade last week that I thought was going to not go well, the call credit spread side. Then it pulled back. So while it was hanging out up in the call credit spread zone, I put on a put credit spread. And then after that, it pulled back and went through the put credit spread like this right here. This right here. Okay. So these are the earnings and stuff for next week. These are earnings for next week. Looking at last week, our trades went 10 for 10. We went 10 for 10. We went 10 for 10. Yes, 100% win rate. It'll maybe come to the screen sooner or later. We had 100% win rate last week on our trades list. Yes, yes, yes. We did. I say yes. Right? 10 out of 10. Apple, Disney, IWM, Johnson & Johnson, McDonald's, ConocoPhillips, Google, IWM, Microsoft, Exxon. 10 for 10, baby. 10 for 10. Me and my community traded several of these. And we follow the list. It works out perfect. It's when we drift and veer away from the list that we run into issues. But woo, 10 for 10, 100% win rate, baby. Yes, that's what happened last week. And we do put out this list every single week. Every single week I put out this list. And here is the one for this week, right? BMY, Disney, IBM, JP Morgan, Oxy, and TFC. Now, I forgot what TFC was just that quick. It's actually on the new. As soon as I read, I'm like, oh, yeah, I knew that. Truist, the financial company is TFC, right? TFC. And I put a star next to Oxy and TFC because they are on the neutral list. They're on the neutral trend. They're showing neutral. So they can be traded on the put credit spread side and or the call credit spread side. They don't need to be, it could be both if you want to do you an iron condor. Y'all know I like iron condors, but sometimes that iron condor will bite you, baby. It'll bite you, baby. Like my Taiwan Semiconductors last week. I had Taiwan Semiconductors, and if I had stuck with one side, my trade would have been fine. But I decided I was going to do an iron condor, and the second side I put on that was against the trend got breached. Yeah, it did. So on our call credit spread list, we've got Adobe, Dow, Google, or the Google version of Google, Lowe's, NextEra Energy, Oxy, and TFC. Oh, and UPS. UPS is also down there. Wah. So my favorites for this week and for this month Favorites for this week are Oxy. I'm going to take a look at some of these real quick. Goog, UPS, with Next Era Energy and Lowe's as honorable mentions, right? I really wanted to do, again, some SPY and IWM and those, but those, I need to let those indices settle a bit. They're in the neutral territory. SPY, Triple Q, both of those I know are in neutral territory. I believe that IWM is now bearish, but those two are in neutral territory. Neutral meaning it's just kind of chilling and deciding which way. I just know that whenever it decides which way it's going, you don't want to be caught up, even though it's neutral. And generally when we have the neutral trend, we look to trade iron condors, wide iron condors there. And we may still do that as a community, but I'm not putting that on the list because that's something I would want to help my community manage, right? Y'all know we have a membership where I work along with our folks hand in hand, which means we enter the trades together, we manage them together, we exit them together. A lot of times, if there's issue, we don't know what we're going to do along the way. Well, all that discussion happens inside the membership, where I make sure that the folks who are in the membership at least have the idea of where we should get out if we need to, or what needs to happen if we don't. Basically, they're to help trade management as well. Now, if you trading and you in somebody's Discord and they're not helping you manage your trade, you might need to chuck up the deuces and come on to someplace that does at least work with you, right? We don't always win. I would completely be lying to you if I told you all we do is win, no matter what. We don't, but we do work together at it. All right. We've been doing well though. Our SPX has been going well. SPX 0 DTEs have been going well. We're working out some strategies and stuff that we do like also with longer time frames. And anyway, we're doing it all together. If you want to come over and join us, you should. Okay. It says Pfizer, the best with earnings getting better each quarter. That PE was 39, dropped to 18. The company had new drugs, FDA approved in the last part of 2024, and a few already this year with a dividend of 43 cents. Okay. Okay, sounds good. Pfizer sounds good with earnings. I'm not sure where Pfizer is on our list. Let me go check real quick. I'll go look and see where Pfizer is on our. Is that where we want to be? Maybe I closed it. I don't see the watch list there. Maybe I closed that particular screen that had the watch list on it. All right. How do you use Adam Mancini's levels? I use Adam Mancini's levels. We have to first change them to, we first change them to SPX levels because Adam trades ES. So once he trades the ES futures, we take his levels. We determine what is the gap between SPX and ES, and I convert those numbers. We convert the numbers to SPX, and then we use them as we're going outward. We're looking for where the price won't go. So we check his levels, put them there to see where price would maybe go, and then reverse. We're kind of keeping that information on our charts, and what we're looking for ultimately is where price will not go for the time frames that we're looking at. All right. No, we have not explored any mini futures. Nope, we do not explore that. All right. So I put out a video. It came out yesterday. Losing streak, here's how to bounce back. And the reason I put this out yesterday is because, I mean, first of all, I always do videos that are relevant to me. And I know that I'm on social media. So I see scrolls and I'm in social media in the spaces where traders are talking. So I'm seeing the people who are on Twitter, people who are on Threads, people who are in different places, and people lost money. Last week before last, people started losing money. That's the long and short of it. People have lost money, whether they telling you they lost money or not. Just because folks post that they made a 600, 700,000% trade doesn't mean that that's all they did last week. All right. I'm just telling you, please don't get caught up in he always winning. Yeah, he or she, because there's a lot of she's who trade very well, by the way. She might win a lot, and I'm not saying she isn't winning more than, or he isn't winning more than he's losing, but just know that there are losses that are being sustained in the midst of this volatility. There are people who are taking losses. All right. And when you're trading and you're on a losing streak, that can attack your confidence. Being on a losing streak can attack your confidence. How do I know? I've lived it. I've lived it before, and sometimes all too often it's uncomfortable, right? So I wanted to talk about in this video, how do we bounce back from a losing streak? Because it's real. Your confidence has been shaken. You decide, sometimes people go and say, I'm on revenge trade. I'm getting my money back. That sounds good. It just doesn't usually work out that way. It doesn't usually work out that way. No, it doesn't usually work out that way. So you might be getting your money back, but it doesn't usually work out that way. Go check out the video, though. I do talk about 5 ways to bounce back after you've hit a losing streak. And if you haven't hit one yet, that doesn't mean you shouldn't watch the video, because if you hadn't had one, you just may. Not speaking ill over anybody's trading. Just know that losing goes with it. And sometimes you lose things back to back to back. You have a hard time pushing the button the next time. All right. So go and check out that on my YouTube channel. You can check out Losing Streak. Here's how to bounce back. Bounce back. Also, I've got a video I put up last week, stop losses for sellers. Because being a seller, sometimes it's difficult to set your stop loss. Like I was talking about my trade, my SPX trade from Thursday to Friday. When Friday, all day Friday almost, that trade was breached. I had 58.80, 58.85, and it was worth about $300. So if I had bought back or bought to close it, I would have spent about $300. But I've had the feeling, I had the feeling that it was gonna come back. So I waited. I gave it time to let it cook to see if it would come on back up. It did. That doesn't always happen. Okay. That does not always happen. So you have to have stop losses in place as a seller. And I talked to you in this video, it's on my YouTube channel, about how do you set stop losses when you're a seller. How do you do that? All righty. SPXplaybook.com is where we use the SPX strategy. If you don't have it and you need to get it, you need to go ahead. We trade this strategy almost every afternoon, and we've got variations. People set it to really what their comfort level. Some folks traded in the last 2 or 3 minutes. Some folks traded the last hour. Some folks traded at noon. Some folks traded one day for the next day, right? There's so many different ways you can make money off SPX. Some folks traded in the morning and use our PDT hack, which is also included in this playbook. They can lock in their profits earlier in the day and don't have to be in the stress of power hour. All of that's inside this playbook. You can go ahead and grab you a copy. www.spxplaybook.com. Let me turn off for the SPX playbook for $27. Go ahead and grab you a copy. Okay. I'm about to wrap this up, but I had one more thing I wanted to share before I did wrap it up. Oh, the candlestick pattern. I was going to go here. This month's pattern is the piercing pattern. It's called the piercing pattern, and it actually was what I just showed you all on SPX. I showed you on SPX this piercing pattern. It's basically where you had a red candle, got a green one, and it goes up, but it passes the 50% mark. Passing the 50% mark is piercing into that top of the top. Now I talk about this candlestick pattern in the Candlestick Mastery calendar. Even though it's a calendar, it's got a little calendar area here. There's no New York Stock Exchange market holidays this month. But I talk about the candle itself, and then on the next page of the calendar, I talk about exactly how to trade it. Right, so there, and you got you a nice little colorful chart to work with. Yeah, got you a nice little colorful calendar to work with. You can go and grab you a copy of the Candlestick Mastery calendar using this link on the graphic, bit.ly/MELINSP. Right. Membership, I've mentioned it a couple of times. We're actually going to get off here and get onto our next call, because every Sunday I do a charting call, a trades preparation call with my community every Sunday. We get on together, we do our charting, we look to see what opportunities we have for the coming week. We can ask questions. If folks got some trades that they think they want to check out for themselves that may not be on my list, but they still like, I think I want to give this one a shot. We look at all those. We talk about all those things and set ourselves up for success for the coming week, right? And again, if you haven't joined us, I'd love for you to join us over in our membership. We learn, trade, and profit the seller's way, which means we do cash secure puts, covered calls. we do credit spreads. Those are the 3 strategies that we use over and over and over. Supportive community for trading, profitable strategies for less screen time, daily profits to grow your account. We got training and support. I am the coach, and I am there in the Telegram and live on Zooms all the time. All right, $97 a month for the membership, $9.97 for the year, and this price is closing tonight. This price is closing tonight. All right, so if you were trying to get in for the $9.97 to pay one time instead of $97 every month, you might want to come on in the room. I'll put the link in the chat. Educatortotrader.com. Don't. There. Okay. Last but not least, option seller bundle. Options 411, the basics of short selling, cash secure puts, cover calls, credit spreads, masterclass, SPX for daily and weekly profits, and how to create you a trading plan. All of that comes together in this one bundle, all in one place, all at one time. Yes, you can come right over there and grab you some access to all of that. Okay. I wanted to talk before I shut it down. I want to talk about what we may see for next week. Right. I feel like, this, I do not give investment advice because I am not an investment advisor. I'm just showing you what I see. Basically, we do see that SPX has danced around. It dropped back down into a support area, filled this gap that was down here. There was a gap from 58.43 all the way to 59.06. It filled that gap, dropped down here, filled the gap completely, and ran up the rest of the day. This was a buyer's gap. So because over here it gapped up, which means it left buyers all in here. So once it dipped down, there was buyers. Now nobody buys shares on SPX, but it's the S&P 500. So it's what it is, right? So there are buyers inside of a buyer's gap. Maybe some more upwards movement. How much? Don't really know. Our moving average is this orange one in the middle. And I'm going to go right now and change that because I need to be consistent with the color of my moving average. There we go. I need it to be blue. Same thing on my on my Thinkorswim. I have the same colors. So I need to be consistent. That's a red. I'll make that one red as the 9-period moving average. Yep. And then come back here. And the 20 can become orange. Yep. My blue can be the middle. That orange doesn't look very orange. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm more concerned about this blue. The blue line in the middle is my moving average, is my 50-period moving average. I need to change this thing right here to something like green, something I can see a little bit better. Okay. It's looking kind of neutral. Notice SPX is looking kind of neutral here. Looking kind of neutral. Yepper. All right. Let's go look at Triple Q. See what our thoughts are potentially there. Again, moving average, 50-day. This is the daily period. Yes, 50-day moving average is also looking kind of neutral, even though it looks like the 9 and the 20 have started to turn down. But we had a nice little recovery on Friday. We'll see what it wants to do next. This wick does say it has a little bit of movement it wants to go on. This candle is what moved it up, but it may have a little bit more to come back up into the 50-period moving average. It definitely may do that, right? Triple Q looks like it wants to have a bounce here. This was a support area from back in the middle of January as well. So it may, but it's coming right back also into what was a support area, which may be a resistance area. So we'll have to see what happens at 511. Does it continue to go on through there, or does it stutter there and turn back, right? You have to watch and see. IWM, as I said, is showing bearish. Yep, the 50-period moving average at the top. This is the 20. This is the 9. So all of the moving averages are now turned downwards and they're fanned out, right? Looks like we did hit some support down here. So I will put a support line down on IWM at 211. do have that. We'll see what happens after this, right? We'll have to see what happens. But we are also below this 200 period moving average. This purplish look here is my 200 period moving average, and it is below that. I'm changing you from purple to black. There we go. It's below this moving average, which when all the moving averages are above the price, that's definitely a bearish sign. Don't take somebody who's too deep in the moving averages. But listen, I want to talk about real quick, because I didn't mention it while I was here. I want you to go to start with the chart.com. Start with the chart.com. If you're watching what I'm doing and you're not real sure, start with about charting, about what I'm talking about. Start with the chart.com. I'm going to type it all out so that way Facebook won't stop the link, because it's some of my links, which is so weird. Anyway, all my links are secured links, and all the ones all the stuff you're supposed to do. Anyway, it's startwiththechart.com. It's a free webinar on charting. It's a free charting webinar. Absolutely free charting webinar. Go over there. You'll talk about moving averages. You'll talk about some of the indicators. You'll talk about what is a chart, what is a candlestick. Okay. It's about 40 minutes. But it's, again, a free webinar on it's all in one place. You don't have to go look in YouTube and try to find the videos to piece together. It's all in one place. All right. And I do that. I give you that over there. Startwiththechart.com. Free charting webinar. That's what that is. Free charting webinar at startwiththechart.com. All righty. All righty. Well, we've been here about an hour. Just about an hour. We've hung out together. The last thing I'll do as I close this up, make sure you like and subscribe, okay? We've got a freebies channel, e2t-freebies.com, where you can go and check out all the free resources that I have available to you. Join me in all the places. I am educator to trader in all the places, all the social media platforms. You can send me an email if you want, info@educatortotrader.com. You can find me on Facebook. Oh, speaking of which, there's somebody on Facebook who has cloned me. Again, I'm always fighting that. I'm not sending out any new friend requests to anybody I'm already friends with. So if you're getting another friend request, that's not me. All right, just know. And please, if you are, please just go ahead and report the profile, because that ain't me. And I'm not ever going to get in your inbox asking you for Forex money, asking you to let me trade for you, asking you for crypto money. I'm not going to do any of those things. I'm not going to do any of those things. All right. No. I'm an educator, and I'm definitely here to help educate, not to trade for anybody. Sometimes I'll be not wanting to trade for me, especially if my confidence is shaking, like I was talking about earlier. All right. Be sure to like and subscribe. Like I said, make sure you pass the word. Tell the folks about what's going on with me. Check that girl out over there. Yes. All right. Do me that favor for my birthday. My birthday was this weekend. It was a really good birthday. I had a good time. Had a great birthday weekend. It was really good. No complaints. Spent some time with the family. Spent some time with my husband. It was all good. All right. Spent some time with my grandkids. Some of my grandkids. It was good. All righty. So I want you all to do well. In the morning, I will not be live in the morning. So those who are looking for me tomorrow morning, I will not be there. I must go to the doctor. So I'll be at a doctor's appointment first thing in the morning. All righty. So for those of you in my community, I will see y'all in about 5 minutes, so we can do some charting and some looking. I got some exciting stuff I want to share with you. And for the rest of you, you need to come on into the membership and hang out with us if you want to hang out with me more often and for longer periods of time and be able to talk back and forth. Come on into the membership. Yeah. All right. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.